What's going on, guys? My name is Josh and welcome to Failure to Feed. Today we're going to be talking about the CANIK TP9 SF ELITE. Before we get too far into this video, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Maybe if you subscribe down below, one day we'll actually have sponsors. So let's just jump right into the review. So the CANIKs, I really like the CANIKs, especially the TP9s. I've had my eye on the TP9s for a while now. I've seen a lot of reviews on these guns, not really the SF ELITE ones, but they're pretty much all the same, kind of. They have really good triggers. Even the like $350 ones are really good. This gun was like $400, $450, I think, out the door. I think we got this one for like $400 at a gun show for my father. So this is actually my dad's Christmas present. So this is what we decided to get him instead of something like a Glock that's a little bit more expensive. We didn't want to go too expensive with his gun because my dad will literally destroy a tank. If we give him a tank, he'll destroy it. Like, he just destroys things. Like, he can't hold a phone longer than a month, and then we need to replace it because he's just a hardworking man, and tools don't last with him. So we're just like, let's get him a $400 gun instead of a $600, $800 gun. Like, I wanted to buy him a CZ, and they're like, nah, let's not spend, close to $1,000 for him. Let's just get $400 worth of gun. And I think this is a lot of gun for $400. So obviously they're copying like the PPQ type of guns, like the Walthers and whatnot, which is super cool. We'll just kind of go over everything really quick. The magazines are metal, but the bottoms are plastic. It doesn't really matter, y'all. People that complain about that don't really shoot a lot and don't notice that the magazines don't fall apart that easily, and you have to be really, really abusive for magazines to like just break. They do break, I get that, if you're running like on concrete or hard rocks, but that's not really a huge concern, considering that this gun came with like 3 magazines, which is phenomenal. There are 15 rounds, and that's pretty cool, in my opinion. It's really close to like the Glock 19, which we'll compare it here in a little bit, but it's still a very good gun, and the magazines are still nice. The mag release is pretty nice. I usually always have to kind of turn my guns to take out the magazine when I shoot. If you watch my shooting video, you can kind of tell I always turn the gun a little bit, like cant it towards me to reach that mag release, but I've never really had a problem not finding a mag release when I needed to find it. And this one feels pretty good. So, yeah. It does have a slide release on the left side of the gun, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna push it down for a second, and on the right side of the gun. And they are enlarged, so it is really, really pleasant and easy to find that mag release, or that slide release, excuse me. The grip feels okay. Not too grippy, but the side right here, it's nothing. There's no grip there really at all. All the grip really comes from up here and back here. Just like the Walthers, it does have like that firing pin indicator right here, which is kind of cool. Goes in, comes back out when it cycles. Super cool. It's a cool touch. It's a nice touch. There is like a bullet chamber indicator thing right here, so I guess you can feel it. I've heard people say in the middle of the night, you want to make sure there's a bullet in your chamber, you can feel it. Like, you should know if your gun is loaded or not, but whatever. I guess it's good for people that are new to guns and whatnot. So that's there, don't care about it, but it's there. Obviously, we're going to talk about the trigger last because the trigger is the highlight of this gun. So the sights are phenomenal. For $400, like, you can't go wrong. Blacked out rear, fiber optic up front. I think that's how they call it, I don't know. But it's nice, I like it a lot. It's very pronounced. You can find it really quickly, especially outside. It's really, really nice to shoot this gun with these sights. I do wish that this came with some sort of capability to put a red dot on this gun, but there's already a lot on this gun for $400. So they do have CANIKs like this Elite SF or SF ELITE, whatever, that do have mounting systems for the red dot. However, they are a little bit more expensive, not too much more expensive, but they are more expensive. So I think you still get a lot of gun for $400. And I shoot irons, I carry with irons. I've never really owned red dots on my handguns, and I need to start moving towards that because I think there's a lot of benefits for red dots on guns, especially handguns. So I'm just cheap and haven't gone down the road of red dots yet, but I need to, and I probably will soon. I'm not really gonna talk about what the gun is made out of or anything like that, but I will talk about this coating. This coating is starting to come off, and my dad doesn't train a whole lot, all right? This is just coming outside and inside of the holster a couple of times, and you already see wear start to happen on the coating on the slide, which is fine. I think a worn gun is a cool gun, but if you do train with this like every week, that coating is definitely gonna be worn away. And I think it's kind of cool because at least it's black underneath, but it is kind of like, dude, that's like, I could peel this off with my finger, like if I really wanted to, like if just scratch one area, like it would just start peeling off. It's almost like if it was spray painted, but it's nice. It's a decent coating. It's just not $800 gun coating. You know what I mean? You're already getting a lot of gun for $400, so they do have to cut corners and certain things. The gun does sit pretty high up, kind of like the Walthers do, which is fine. It is gonna recoil a little bit more because it is sitting higher. When it recoils, that slide is kind of far away from your hand, so the gun isn't sitting very low. So the explosion is happening, the gun's going back. When it recoils, it's just gonna recoil a little bit more, but it's not bad. You can shoot very fast with this gun and get used to it, but it's not like a Glock that sits very, very low. As you can see, it's super close to my hand versus the TP9. So would I buy this gun over a Glock? I don't know. I think I would probably go and get like an old used Glock, like a Gen 3 or something like that. And it would probably be a better gun, especially for like holsters and stuff like that. There's not much out there. The gun does come with a holster. It's kind of crappy. It's outside the waistband, but I mean, in a pinch, this gun, it'll work. There's certain applications that actually benefit from outside the waistband and open carrying, like if you're doing security or something like that, or if you know your department allows you to carry a CANIK and like a Glock or something like that. I'm sure cops would like these guns a lot, but I know they're not up to standards to certain guns, or they're just not trusted by the government. So I'm also talking out my butt right now, so don't take anything I'm saying as fact. I'm just saying there might not be places that allow you to carry this gun if you do security. I have a buddy that does armed security, and he says they don't let you carry anything else but Glocks, or if you have to take it in there and they have to evaluate the gun, and okay, yeah, you can carry that, that's fine. But he said really they just make us carry Glocks is what he said. So take it from a Glock worshiper, and since people call me that, I would probably buy a Glock over this gun. However, the trigger, I totally forgot about the trigger. The trigger is beautiful. So check this out. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table here. Let's get you still. Okay. So trigger, wall, beautiful. Check out this reset. Oh my goodness. This is the best trigger I've ever had on a handgun, and it's $400 compared to like a Glock. It actually shames the Glock a whole lot. So super spongy, kind of heavy. And then there's that wall. So there's that reset. Kind of, at least it resets on the wall, but it is way heavier than the CANIK. Like, oh my gosh, you can't compare it. So if you're trying to compare this gun to a Glock 19, like which one do I buy? Do I save up $200 for the Glock? There's a reason why Glocks are kind of like, and the Glock 19 is kind of a standard size for the carry guns, because so you can see the CANIK is almost as long as the Glock is with that TLR1 light on there. The barrel isn't that much longer than the Glock is, but the gun itself is just a longer gun. So as you can see, oh, well, the barrel's longer. No, it's not. It's just sits further up the gun. So you can see on the back, the Walther is. Not the Walther, the PPQ. Lord help me. The CANIK TP9, it's like the PPQ, that's why I keep saying that. But so, to sum up this review, would I buy this gun? Yes, I would buy it. I would train with it. It's a nice gun, a great trigger. However, I probably wouldn't carry this gun because there's a lot of things that I think about personally about carrying a gun. For instance, magazines. If I ever have to scavenge off of somebody else, like a police officer that got shot and needs help, I'm thinking about a horrible scenario, right? That's what us gun guys do. We think about those horrible situations where cops got shot and I needed to go and stop somebody from killing more people. Majority of the time, police officers will have Glock magazines, all right? Not CANIK magazines, because majority of police carry Glocks. It's just a fact. And it's just more common. The same thing with the AR-15. So people ask me, well, should I get an AR-15 or an AK or something like that? Even I've heard an MP5 before. I was like, why do you want an MP5? Like, get an AR-15 before you start getting those other guns to train with. Because an AR-15, an AR magazine, M4 magazine is way more commonly found than AK magazines, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I'm just some idiot from Texas on the internet talking to you. So yes, I worship Glock, whatever, but it's for a reason. And that reason is also parts. It's also holsters. It's also, like I said, magazines. It's also reliability. That's why this is kind of still the standard line across firearms and handguns specifically, because of all those things, in my opinion. You might not go so deep into thought like I do. If you do buy a CANIK and you do carry it, that's a good gun. But I think about different things, not just carrying a gun and being able to shoot it well. I think about the worst situations, and that's why I stick with the Glock. But this is a great gun. If you bought this gun and you train with this gun, that's a good pick. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And leave a like down below, a comment. I respond to like all comments. And so yeah, if you have a question or you want to see me shoot this gun, I'll post a video of me shooting it. I don't think I've recorded myself shooting this gun, but I've shot it quite a bit. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. God bless.